How many years have we been in other people's countries, uninvited, looting, robbing, raping, ripping them off? We are despicable. I mean, utterly despicable. We do it with a veneer of civilization. We pretend to be nice. It isn't a life. It's a living death.
Ill enough to try to carry arms and carry on's a renegade writer. His pen game very strong. Flip the script while they pin another merry song. I kill a verse and dig a ditch big enough to bury bars.
My brand new single, Watch It Burn, is now pre-ordering on weightless.net. Red 7-inch vinyl, limited quantities. Order yours today.
Today has been an obstacle to overcome. The polyrhythmic numb, stip statistics liquidated over the dry ice to come. The sum of truth combined with lies equals 6 million ways to die and only 2 reasons not to choose one. The gruesome brilliance gripping onto the lifeline of the mic line. Floodgates open to obscure mind lashing. Plane of exist crashing into this everlasting black market as the grains of time run out of room to fill. I consume the buds that bloom with skill, laying cats to rest on flower beds, keeping them warm with this blanket of language, giving pillows of thought to lay their heads. Redundant like season changes. The cycle's clear. When my ego is landed, after fall, I want spring to randomly appear and the sky to rotate. So the North Star is in the east with tapestried constellation sheets. I shine so with diamond-studded supernova can't compete. I'm tired of being discreet with crews. So I sink to a dreamscape of all-out war where they use my handprint as tattoos.
Disrespect an officer of the law?
I can help you solve
What's up,
the case.
everybody?
I can tell you who did it.
Elijah here.
Huh? You tell me jokes?
I'm a rapper.
Oh, you're a
Beats and
rapper.
B-sides.
Oh, okay. You got a record contract?
Not yet. Give the clue for the bus if you show me some trust.
Deep dive
You ever
into
been to
Celestial
juvenile
Clockwork.
hall?
I ain't fucking with you.
Hey,
We in here.
Watch the mouth. Watch it.
Come on, man. Just watch me. Watch and listen.
So yeah, we in here. So Birthright, today Birthright. Today is Birthright Day. And really Birthright was a song where I could flex my poetic pen and, you know, like utilize imagery, because I was just out of high school when, you know, I wrote most of Celestial Clockwork. So, you know, Birthright was just a way to flex. It was an exercise in poetic license. It was an exercise in, you know, letting people know who I was and what type of artist I'm gonna be. Like, Unforeseen Shadows was a great first step and it was a great introduction, but Celestial kind of planted the flag as to what kind of artist I would be going forward, and as far as my writing. And, you know, this is one of those songs where I was kind of showcasing my skill a little bit, you know, really kind of showing cats I'm not to be messed with, but doing it in a way that, you know, was different from everyone else, doing it in a way that made you think a little bit, doing it in a way that, you know, kind of made you see pictures. And yeah, like, I was just flexing, you know what I'm saying? So let's dive into the lyrics. And, you know, some of the lyrics themselves are pretty self-explanatory, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to necessarily dive deep into every line, but all right, so starting out. Today has been an obstacle to overcome. The polyrhythmic numb. Sip statistics liquidated over the dry ice to come. The sum of truth combined with lies equals 6 million ways to die and only 2 reasons not to choose one. Now, the introduction of this song. At the time that I was writing this stuff, again, like I said before, like I was going through, depression and dealing with a lot of issues that I wasn't necessarily prepared for at the age that I was at and at the stage of my life that I was at. And, like the first line, today has been an obstacle to overcome. Every day was an obstacle back then, just to get through it, and get through it without going outside of myself in many ways, and trying to keep trudging on. I had already kind of dealt with a lot of the things, but I still had remnants of those feelings. I still had remnants of the hurt and the pain. So, there was a lot of times where every day, the days were just hard. So today has been an obstacle to overcome. And my writing is my release. My writing is my therapy. My writing is what I go to get my anger out, get my frustration out, get these things out. And, this is one of those songs where getting my frustrations out, is directed at MCs, because I'm not a fighter, but doing the things that I do, this is how I get my emotions out. So the polyrhythmic numb. Sip statistics liquidated over the dry ice to come. The sum of truth combined with lies equals 6 million ways to die and only 2 reasons not to choose one. So the polyrhythmic numb, I was just talking about at the time when this was released, the time that I was writing it, actually, it was, 2000, and up, 2000 up to 2004, and everything was jiggy, and, everything kind of had the same rhythms, everything, kind of like today. Everything kind of had the same rhythms, and it was just, that's what I was talking about. The polyrhythmic numb, they don't feel anything other than what, the rhythms that they're putting out there. Sip statistics liquidated over the dry ice to come. A lot of the music that was being made back then was, in my opinion, and a lot of the music being made now is, contributing to the statistical categories that us as Black people and poor people are placed in. People that are disenfranchised in any way. It's the categories that we're placed in. So, especially the bad ones, the ones that they report on the news. And I watched a lot of news back then. Liquidated over dry ice to come. So basically this world has gotten colder since 2004 when I wrote this. And I was just talking about, the world getting cold and everybody's getting numb to all of this bad music that's badly influencing us. And this world is going to get colder because music is powerful. Music is a weapon. So, sip statistics liquidated over the dry ice to come. The sum of truth combined with lies equals 6 million ways to die and only 2 reasons not to choose one. Now, the sum of truth combined with lies. So, a lot of people out here not being honest. This was, back then and still today. A lot of people out there not being honest about them, their lives as an MC. They're talking about whatever is popular at the time. The sum of truth combined with lies equals 6 million ways to die and only 2 reasons not to choose one. Every song that I heard back then that was played on the radio, a lot of them, not all of them, of course. Everybody wasn't on gangster rap as heavy, and I was just railing against gangster rap back then just because I just thought it was so detrimental, and some of it I like now, just for the aesthetic of it, not necessarily the message. But so in all of those songs, they can tell you, 1,000 ways to kill a dude. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a plethora of ways to die. So equals 6 million ways to die and only 2 reasons not to choose one. My 2 reasons for not dying. My 2 reasons, and I would hope that everybody's 2 reasons are, and if they have more, but these are the main 2, with my family and God. Only 2 reasons not to choose one. The gruesome brilliance, gripping onto the lifeline of the mic line, self-explanatory. Floodgates open to obscure mind lashing, plane of exist crashing into this everlasting black market as the grains of time run out of room to fill. I consume the buds that bloom with skill. So this gruesome brilliance, I'm just saying I'm crazy brilliant, gripping onto the lifeline of the mic line as an MC. Floodgates open to obscure mind lashing. Now, when I do write, because back, you can ask, anybody, but Print will tell you that I was super prolific. It was like floodgates, every time that I sat down, I would write, verse after verse. I would write, songs, multiple songs a night. I was super prolific. I was writing all the time, every day. Floodgates open to obscure mind lashing. I'm a poet. It's not gonna be something that you can completely get the first time around all the time. I'm gonna challenge you a little bit, Obscure mind lashing, plane of existence, plane of exist crashing into this everlasting black market. So I'm crashing into the underground and I'm crashing into the industry, doing what I'm doing. And the underground was like a black market, what I'm saying? Like cats was, trading songs online for free. We was downloading, we was pirating. Like it was a hip hop was a black market back in the day, what I'm saying? As the grains of time run out of room to fill. Sands through the hourglass. As the grains of time run out of room to fill, I consume the buds that bloom with skill, laying cats to rest on flower beds. So, like as an MC, the way that I, Print calls it heavenly cotton balls. What up, Jason? What up? Print calls it heavenly cotton balls. So, laying cats to rest on flower beds. Like when I battle, like especially with the pen, especially writing, I do it poetically. I do it hard but soft. You know what I'm saying? Like it's I'm not, and I can get raw. You know what I'm saying? But I enjoy the poetic license to hurt cats with words, and they might not even understand how bad with what I'm saying, but I enjoy that part. So laying cats to rest on flower beds, keeping them warm with this blanket of language, giving pillows of thought to lay their heads, giving them something to think about. Redundant like season changes, the cycle's clear. Like I'm saying, they're redundant. So I'm saying the industry is redundant. Redundant like season changes, the cycle's clear. When my ego has landed, when my ego is landed, after fall, I want spring to randomly appear and the sky to rotate so the North Star is in the east. With tapestry constellation sheets, I shine so a diamond-studded supernova can't compete. I'm tired of being discreet with crews, so I sink to a dreamscape of all-out war where they use my handprint as tattoos. So this whole last part, redundant like season changes, the cycle's clear where my ego's landed, all of that, from there, I'm basically, saying I'm living in my own world, and I'm at war, but I'm in my own world. I don't see things the way that you see them. I don't do things the way that you do them. Like I'm doing something different. And, that whole thing is, I want spring to randomly appear in the sky to rotate so the North Star is in the east. Like just, I want to build my own world. I don't want to just be okay with the mundane and the regular and everything that everyone else is, cool with. You know what I'm saying? So that's the first verse. And yeah, this song is, pretty interesting. And I really love the fact that, I had this outlet. I'm glad that I had this outlet to create with, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't have this outlet. A lot of people, they wish that they had the ability to get their feelings and emotions out the way that we do as writers. And doing a song like this allows me to exercise those demons, if you will. You know what I'm saying? And being able to do that is definitely a gift. And so we're going to take a break, and I will get back, and we will hit the second verse. All right?
Let me have a few opinions.
Yo, hey yo, this ever already been over. Now it's just a battle between straw men and tin soldiers. Keep an eye out for the poachers and the vultures that preach to the chorus and expose our worst impulses. Impotent from info kill infidels. A lot of rap fans treat rap like a minstrel show. Yo, a lot of rappers rap like tribute acts. Attributes to tributaries, tributes calling ghettos black. Hey yeah, y'all got me looking like Kelsey Grammer House in the hills, paying your bills like I'm fucking Hammer. Y'all should be fucking enamored, but you stuck on stupid like I'm stuck on the map. You might remember me and Jason Griff from Adapt. Brought calm to a nation via fireside chat. For that we should be lionized. Listen to my diatribe, louder than a bomb, and when I'm tired, got a flying eye. Yo, I'm a misfit in this microcosm. The Michael Jackson of prognosis with microdoses.
What up, what up, what up? Verse 2. Hold my hand in a company ill to the edge of demise, where the sane are in conjunctions for a vanity holocaust, so dive. Mannequins stand lost on felt tips, eyes cry ink of many hues. Payment of dues behind schedule, yet your laundry's impeccable. Skeletons stand neatly in closets veiled by velvet drapery. Broken spirit of the storm capsizes ships and rapes the sea while I sit and study with dim-lit desk lamp and favorite mug, sipping hazelnut java with bare feet on bearskin rug, watching the ceiling fan, inspiring me to rotate irony. Like nuns trapped in purgatory, walking in circles of piety, raising ladles of lamb's blood to their lips, and allowing its thickness to purify this land of derelicts, it would be best if you desist. Sprint into the foxhole, you're not whole. Nomadic kicks of spiritual things, I rock souls. Floating in glass houses, tossing boulders. The weight of the hate caught you off guard and collapsed your shoulders. Fragmented pieces of human shrapnel lay across this field of battle. Life gives you a one-way ticket to a herd of cattle and free passage for grazing in the pastures of conformity. Dormant while I attempt to topple these columns supporting normalcy. You choose to dwell in a time capsule of yesteryear, clearly locked in place with combination on fingertips of fear. So yeah, second verse of Birthright. Now this second verse, I dive a little deeper into, like really get into the core of things that I think are a problem with society at the time that I'm writing this. And it's like hold my hand in a company ill to the edge of demise. So basically I'm saying, like, just follow me on this journey real quick. I'm gonna show you where we're going, and I'm gonna show you that it's gonna be our destruction. I'm gonna show you that the things that we're doing is gonna really have an issue with the way that our lives are carried out. Hold my hand in a company ill to the edge of demise, where the sane are in conjunction for a vanity holocaust. So dive. People that we look to for advice a lot of times, and I'm speaking more like as far as movie stars, as far as actors and Hollywood and all that shit. They're considered, people look at them and that's, who people strive to be like. Like everybody wanted their hair like Jennifer Aniston at one point. Like, there's so much influence up there. There's so much influence in that realm. And people who are not responsible with it, they're leading us down a path of destruction. Entertainment is powerful. Entertainment is a tool. Entertainment is, some people think that it's the blueprint, to life. And that's where we get fucked up. That's where we get messed up. So and the Saint are in conjunction for a vanity holocaust. So it's time for all that stuff to die. Mannequins stand lost on felt tips. Mannequins, I'm saying that, you know, people in society and MCs also in the music world are mannequins. They're not real. They're not functioning as the men that they're supposed to be. They're not functioning as the artists that they're actually called to be. Mannequins stand lost on felt tips, so they on the tip of their end. I'm hoping at this time, you know, mannequins stand lost on felt tips, eyes cry ink of many hues. Payment of dues behind schedule, yet your laundry's impeccable. Your payment of due, you don't got no issues. Everything is cool and peachy, but you ain't paid your dues. You ain't done enough to put yourself in a position where you think you should be. And you know, like, this isn't all the like, as I explain a lot of this, it's really cool as an MC. Sometimes, because I've been preparing for this, you know, for the last few weeks, and going through my songs and deciphering the lyrics and, you know, recalling where I was at the time. The kind of writing that I do, I still get surprised at some of the things that I said, and I still get reminded of where I came from and how far I've come, and the fact that some things that I was dealing with back then, I'm still dealing with today. Some things as a society we were dealing with back then, we were still dealing with today. And, you know, it kind of, because this album is 17 years old. It's almost 18 years old. And, you know, for some of the things that I was touching on that were affecting me at the time, you know, really, you know, and having children now, it really kind of shows me that there has been some changes, there has been some improvements, but we still have a long way to go. Vanity holocaust, so die. Mannequins stand lost on felt tips, eyes cry ink of many hues. Payment of dues behind schedule, yet your laundry's impeccable. Skeletons stand neatly in closets, veiled by velvet drapery. You got all them skeletons in your closet, and you perping like you got everything going on. There's a lot of times that we find out that a lot of the actors and actresses and stuff, like, you know, what we found out about Charlie Sheen and, you know, like all of this Me Too stuff, like, it's crazy, you know, like the stuff that we find out about people, and, you know, they have this persona of, you know, invincibility. You know what I'm saying? Skeletons stand neatly in closets, veiled by velvet drapery. Broken spirit of the storm capsizes ships and rapes the sea, while I sit and study with dim lit desk lamp and favorite mug, sipping hazelnut java with bare feet on bearskin rug. While y'all out here, you know, getting toppled by all of this stuff, getting destroyed by all of this stuff that you're allowing to seep into your body, you're allowing to seep into your brain, you're allowing to seep into your eardrums. While y'all doing all that, and y'all ships get capsized, and, you know, like, the sea is rough and your life is rough, you know, I'm sitting in my study, I'm sitting in my studio with a dim lit lamp, you know, taking a drink, chilling. You know what I'm saying? just watching y'all destroy yourselves. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, just speaking to the industry, it was fun to do things like this and poke fun. And, you know, granted, we had a lot of really good music, but, you know, just like when De La had a deal, they was talking about R&B was whack. When, you know, like when Tribe was talking about how, you know, like LONS, a lot of stuff about R&B, like the R&B was whack. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, at the time, the industry was the target. You know what I mean? And you know, they got a lashing from a lot of us back then. Watching the ceiling fan. So sipping hazelnut java with bare feet on bearskin rug, watching the ceiling fan inspiring me to rotate irony, like nuns trapped in purgatory walking in circles of piety, raising ladles of lamb's blood to their lips and allowing its thickness to purify this land of derelicts. Piety. Watching the ceiling fan inspiring me to rotate irony. like nuns trapped in purgatory walking in circles of piety. Piety is the quality of being reverent. And reverence is showing a deep respect for something or someone. So in these lyrics, I'm saying, watching the ceiling fan inspiring me to rotate irony like nuns trapped in purgatory. So purgatory is, you're not going to heaven, you're not going to hell, you're trapped in the middle. You're just in a regular state. You're not elevating, you're not declining, you're just there. Like nuns trapped in purgatory, walking in circles of piety. While you're stuck, I'm going to keep moving, and you'll revere me at some point in life, as an MC, as a person, as a man. I had a big ego when I wrote a lot of this shit. I had a huge ego. I'm just explaining what the lyrics mean. And a lot of these, a lot of the ideas and a lot of the bravado, I don't necessarily carry these days. I'm a lot more easygoing. And back then I was super easygoing, but, I still don't think I can be touched on the mic, but I ain't brash, you know what I mean? And, in me being poetic, I'm allowed to say these things and I know what they mean to me, but put them in a way that they're beautiful to you and you don't see the violence in them, per se. So nuns trapped in purgatory walking in circles of piety, raising ladles of lamb's blood to their lips and allowing its thickness to purify this land of derelicts. So like I said, I had a huge ego. So in these lines, I'm comparing myself to the lamb. Not necessarily, I'm not a god, but comparing myself to the Lamb of God, comparing myself to Jesus, and my blood is my lyrics that, kind of pour out of my mouth. Raising ladles of lamb blood to their lips and allowing its thickness to purify this land of derelicts. So allow my lyrics to purify the land, of hip hop. It would be best if you desist. Sprint into the foxhole, you're not whole. Nomadic kicks of spiritual things, I rock souls. Floating in glass houses, tossing boulders. The weight of the hate caught you off guard and collapsed your shoulders. I rock souls. No matter kicks of spiritual things, I rock souls. So I'm saying all these people, all these people floating in glass houses, throwing boulders, throwing big hate. There's a lot of hate back in the day for Weightless, because we did things on our own. We didn't wait for a cosign. We didn't wait for anybody to give us the go ahead, to be MCs. Nobody, we didn't get a cosign. We went ahead and did our own thing, and we got a lot of flack for that. And a lot of cats that gave us a lot of that flack, aren't still doing this. Granted, I had a day job and I'll have a day job, but I'm still doing it. I'm still putting out albums. A lot of cats that ain't even around no more. And a lot of those were the ones that was talking all the stuff. So floating in glass houses, tossing boulders, the weight of the hate caught you off guard and collapsed your shoulders. Fragmented pieces of human shrapnel lay across this field of battle. Life gives you a one-way ticket to a herd of cattle. So life gives you a one-way ticket to just be normal and be like everybody else. And it's up to you to accept that ticket or not. It's up to you to decide who you are. It's up to you to decide what direction you're going to go in life. It's up to you to decide where your limits are. It's up to you. So if you don't take that ticket, and you're going to hitchhike the way. You're going to hitchhike, or you're going to find your own way. Life gives you a one-way ticket to a herd of cattle and free passage for grazing in the pastures of conformity. Dormant while I attempt to topple these columns supporting normalcy. You choose to dwell in a time capsule of yesteryear. You choose to be, to not grow. You choose to be stagnant. You choose, because if you choose to grow and you choose to be disciplined and you choose to do things in a way that is going to increase you and increase your family and increase the people that are around you, then you won't be in that place. You won't be stuck. You choose to dwell in a time capsule of yesteryear, clearly locked in place with combination on fingertips of fear. A lot of people that don't progress in life are scared. A lot of people who don't make moves in whatever they're doing in life, in whatever career they choose, a lot of times are scared.
I am sorry.
And when you are okay with being normal,
I love you.
there's an underlying fear of being great, because there's pressure with being great. There's pressure with being who you're called to be. There's pressure. And everybody can't handle that pressure. But everybody is called to be great in some form or another. It's up to you to choose to be. It's up to you to choose your path. So that's Birthright. You know, I really appreciate everybody who has supported me doing this. I really appreciate everybody who has purchased the Celestial Clockwork vinyl. We're down to about 100 copies right now. So, you know, PSA, if you really want one and you ain't got one yet, time is running out. Ships on November 1st, fingers crossed. And yeah, man, it's been great. I really appreciate everybody who watched, everybody who tuned in, and everybody who will watch in the future. Thank you all so much. This is Logic, signing off. Peace.